And she's taking the choice right now to say, I want to end this relationship. That's what she's doing right now. She's saying she wants to end the relationship. And you just said she's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to looks, but you didn't mention anything else about her that you really appreciate her, that what she does for you. She said she can do much better than you. That sucks. So this relationship is over. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I am your host, Zakka, and what is Nerdy Dating? It's pretty much a relationship advice podcast from a viewpoint of a nerd. And heck, if I can get a date, you can too. So I'm out here gonna give you guys some advice podcast. So please like, share, subscribe to the podcast with your friends, family, somebody who needs a third person opinion or third person thought on a relationship. Have them send me a question. I'll answer it on the show. They can put it in the comment section below, or they can find me on Instagram and TikTok as alizakkanerdydating, and I can definitely give them some advice on the show here. Now, today's episode, you already know what it is: TikTok reactions and Reddit reactions. So let's go ahead and get into it. Our first TikTok video is by the Coffee Breakup. Let's see what they have to say.
People thinking they long-term relationships, they stop asking questions because, well, they think they know this person. When was the last time you asked them what their favorite food is, what makes them happy, what makes them tick, what's their favorite song, what's their favorite music, what do they love doing? If it's been months and years, then you're doing something wrong, right? And especially as change comes, you have to communicate with your partner. What are you going through? What's changing? Talk about it. Talk about the change as well. You know, maybe you stop enjoying certain things. Maybe you started liking other things. A big part of the change, embracing it and keeping it healthy, is to communicate with each other.
I 100% agree with that. You can't stop communicating with your partner. To me, that makes 1000% sense. You cannot stop communicating with your partner. If you do that, you get stagnant relationship, and then you start taking your partner for granted. And you don't want to take your partner for granted. You want to continue to know and grow with your partner, so you can't stop communicating. One of Logan Ury, one of my favorite books, is How Not to Die Alone, or How to Not Die Alone. And I'll put the book link in the comment section below. But it's about Logan Ury, who works on Hen, like she works for Hen. She's a dating advice coach. And something that she does in her own relationships, the book talks about, is that they do check-ins. Whereas every 6 months, every 4 months, whatever the case may be, to do a check-in to see where each person feeling, how did each person feel in a relationship, how did each person feel about each other, and what they feel like they need and what they need to receive in a relationship, so the other partner can, if they want to, adjust and help move forward or not. And that communication, you have to talk about it and express what your wants and needs are. And that's going to change over time. Your life is going to change over time. The things you're into are going to change over time. But your partner should be willing to be there with you and also communicate with your partner. That way they know, like, oh, okay, you like doing that now? Let's go ahead and do this together. So there's that growth. You continue to grow, and you're not going to be, I think so many people need to remind themselves of, when they meet their partner day one, it's not who they're going to be in year 10. So remember that the person you meet on day one is not going to be the person you're dating or in marriage with or together with at year 10. It's not. There are going to be changes going to go through, and you have to be willing to adapt with your partner. Your partner got to be willing to adapt with you. If one person don't want to change and adapt, then you find your relationship hitting rocks. But as long as you guys continue to grow and communicate with each other, your relationship is going to continue to grow and grow as well. So I 1000% agree with him, and yeah, that's a good TikTok. It wasn't a bad reaction with that one. All right, next video here. This is from the Rory Uphold podcast. So let's see what they have to say.
Though, I feel like the shorties are acting right.
Short kings?
Yeah, they're acting right because especially LA girls are such height supremacists, where it's like,
which is so funny because every girl in LA is either
tiny,
a model or they're
tiny.
5'1".
So all these girls are like, gotta be 6 feet and over, 6 feet and over, and I'm like, there's definitely like a good little pool that's getting
emphasis on little.
yeah, it's getting.
I'm going to hell.
It's getting looked over. I feel like all my best dates are with shorties. Like anytime I went out with a tall guy, I was like, I didn't feel like I was like treated properly. I will say though, I feel like the shorties are acting right.
Short kings?
Yeah.
Not the shorties are acting right. Short kings. So throw on that video. She said that the tall guys don't treat her as right as somebody she had better days with somebody who are short stature. I don't know what their heights are. They can be 5'3", 5'5", 5'7". Like, I don't know where their heights at. So they're to want somebody who's over 6 foot, but somebody who's 5'10", 5'9", 5'7" treats them better. Well, one, height doesn't dictate somebody's a good person or not. So if you're looking for somebody who's a good person, height is not an indicator. Oh, they're tall, so they're going to be a good person. No, a 5'5", 5'6", 5'7" dude can be just as genuine and compassionate as somebody who is 6 foot and above. So that doesn't matter there. I think a lot of women do get this idea, oh, he gotta be 6 foot, because you hear tall, dark, and handsome. You hear people talk about that all the time. He's tall, dark, and handsome. That's what society and media want you to believe. But there are a bunch of good people, like she said, that get missed over for their height. So if you're on somebody's dating app and you're struggling to meet somebody who's 6 foot, because your requirement for somebody who's 6 foot, maybe you should take that standard and make it a preference. Maybe it doesn't have to be a 6 foot person. As long as they're taller than you, especially if you're 5'2", 5'5", you say, I want somebody 6 foot and they had to be 6 foot. How about you drop that? If you date somebody 5'6", 5'7", they're gonna be taller than you, and they're confident in themselves, they're not gonna care if you're taller than them. If you wear heights or heels one night and you're wearing 3-inch pumps or 5-inch stilettos and you're taller than him that night, he's not gonna care. He just wanna make sure you look beautiful and gorgeous. He's a guy who genuinely care about who you are. He's not gonna care about the height. And I would say somebody who is 5'7", if you date a guy who you're like, I want somebody taller, and you date somebody who's 5'7", I wouldn't ever say you should like mention it all the time. Like, you can say like, well, I like tall men. Okay. I would think personally like, all right, you're not really in this for me if you tell me you like tall men. But if you bring it up all the time, I'm automatically gonna assume that you're not happy in this relationship because you want somebody who's taller. That's what you feel like you need, and you should go catch that. So I do agree with like women probably should make their height, instead of making it a standard, make it a preference, and therefore they'll be more willing to find dates. You think everybody out there is tall, but I'm not sure what the percentage is of how many people who actually are 6 foot and above, but somebody taller than you is perfectly fine as somebody hitting a 6 foot goal. All right, next video. This is from The Desirable Truth. Let's see what we got here.
How tall are you?
I'm about 5'6".
Has your height affected your dating life?
Not at all, man.
How do you feel when a woman says the term, short man syndrome or short man energy?
I've never had a woman tell me that except for online when I'm talking shit to someone.
So you don't feel like you're at a disadvantage, as opposed to a guy who's 6 foot?
I've done a whole lot of shit in my life, 99% more than most Americans. It does not bother me whatsoever. I have the confidence of, hell, I've even stolen NBA players' girlfriends from them, so the height thing doesn't really bother me.
Well, wait, how did that happen?
Let me tell you something. Just because you're an NBA player, you're an athlete, you're a 6 foot tall dude, that don't mean shit. These women will run game on you all fucking day. There's this woman I was dating, and her boyfriend was this NBA player, real famous dude, millions of followers. And you know who I see looking at my fucking story? This NBA player, because he knew his chick was fucking me.
How tall are you?
I'm about 5'6".
Oh gosh. Okay. I like his confidence. I do not like his mentality regarding that. Like, I like his confidence. His confidence is what you need to have. Yes, that's that confidence of a short king. But to sit and be like, I steal other people's girlfriends, that's not something you want to brag about. That is something you actually want to invest in yourself and say, why you gotta go at somebody else's girl? What point you trying to prove? So I take NBA players who are, yes, they're 6'5", 6'7", 6'8". They're tall people, like one of the tallest people on our planets are playing in that sports. But to be like bragging how you take their women is not something that's not a flex. And that's something as a guy you should never do. You shouldn't flex by stealing somebody else's girl. Like, what does that mean by you? You couldn't find your own lady to talk to. You had to go take somebody else's girl and feed on their insecurity and take her. And then the same thing, that girl was willing to leave that man for you. They will most likely leave you for somebody else because they're just bouncing from relationship. So that's not a flex. But I do agree with him when it comes to, that confidence and that type of like, hey, my height does not mean anything about the person that I am. And he's having that energy. He's carrying that. He's like, I've done things where 99% of people who other people haven't done. All right, continue to live your life that way. He's the only time he ever hears somebody call some short man energy was online. And that's where you usually hear it. I've not heard, besides, I've been called short king in person, but that was by a girl. Like, I don't know. To me, like, it was like almost like, okay, cool. Thanks for the confidence. Like, but other than that, like, I really don't really hear like people call me short man. I had one lady I talked to, she called me a little buddy, and I was like, I don't like that. But other than that, like, and she was taller than me. But other than that, I was like, it's fine. I really don't hear that much. So being 5'7", like, it's not something that really like sit there and be like, oh man, I can't find a girl because I'm short. Like, if you're confident and know who you are, a girl will talk to you regardless of your height or stature. I'm dead serious. You go approach her in confidence, the same energy that you have, and you're going to talk to anybody, or you're about to go do something that's big or something like you're like, this is your element. Go in that same confidence. Like, whatever you think that you're into, you're like playing video games. You're like, you feel the best when you're playing video games. Take that same energy when you go speak to a girl, regardless of your height, and that girl going to acknowledge you, and she's going to be at least give you some attention. Now, is she going to go out with you? I can't answer that, but at least that's a start. And sometimes that attention is all you need. So he has that energy. He has, like, he walks into the room, you know who this person is kind of energy. Like, I don't know who this person, but he definitely stands out amongst everybody else. He brings that energy to the room. And you can say, oh, well, he's overcompensating for his height. Maybe, but at least got him to the point where you now recognize him. Just saying. So but the brag about taking people's girls is not the coolest thing. And that, I would draw the line there. But other than that, yeah, I would say, props to him being confident who he is, regardless of his stature. All right, Reddit time. So the first one we have here, how would you rank all the dating apps you tried? You can choose a criteria for how you rank them. Okay. So all the dating apps that I've tried over the years. So I've been on Plenty of Fish. I've been on Match. I've been on Hinge, Tinder, Bumble. I think I tried Coffee Meet Bagel at one point. Not Hot or Not. I didn't do that one. It's not Zoom. It's like one where like it's based off of your area, and I can't think of the name of that one. So there's something that there's one there, and there's Hot or Not. No, Match, Plenty of Fish. What's the other one I'm missing? Plenty of Fish, Match. Oh, Facebook Dating. There's Facebook Dating, and there's one more I can't think of right now that I was on. And to be honest, I think Hinge, Facebook Dating, Tinder, and Bumble were the best ones that I've been on. Hinge is probably the best one. To be honest, if you're looking for a relationship, I mentioned this on other episodes. If you're looking for a relationship, Hinge is the best one because you can break down what people are actually looking for. You have to put more into your bio, and you have to be, you can comment on more than just a profile, like as far as a picture. There's other things you comment on, and if a person put more effort into their bio, the more likely a person's serious about dating. Tinder, is swipe left and right. It's easy to swipe. Plus, also with Hinge, we only have 10 likes a day. You're forced to be more selective with your options, so therefore you just can't throw out likes left and right unless you pay for it. So therefore it makes Hinge a little more serious because you just can't throw away likes. You just can't go out about. Bumble, the girl had to mention this first, but in Kansas City, in my experience, Bumble really wasn't really the best app for me. Like, for some of my profile didn't get pushed to the front, and even when I paid for it, it just didn't get pushed to the front, so it wasn't really the best for me. Tinder and Hinge were like my two go-to. Facebook Dating, I've had success on there too, but I really had success on all dating apps. It's just like the most success I got was for Tinder and Hinge, and those are two that I would just use. Bumble, you can probably get some more interaction with Bumble, but it's like the difference is Tinder. Just the girl matches first. The girl has to message first, so if I'm waiting for the girl to message, it's just like, oh, I matched with a really cute girl. She ain't messaging. All right, you know what? I'm not about to search you down on Instagram. I'm not about to search you down here. I'm just going to message you. I'd rather wait till I match with you on Tinder than message you. So to me, Tinder and it's like Hinge, Tinder, and then everything else. To be honest, everything else is like you can find success on them, but they're all pretty much the same beneath it. Like if you're going to invest in a dating app, I think Hinge and then Tinder. If you're looking to just to hook up, Tinder first, don't worry about Hinge. But you're looking for a serious relationship and start something serious that's not casual, Hinge is the way to go. All right, next question. My fiance, 26, left me, male, 27, after I caught her sexting. To cut a long story short, I caught my fiance and partner of almost 11 years had a sexting affair which led to her eventually leaving me. We are still living together until we can arrange to have our house sold, and I know they are still communicating. He told her he wants a relationship with her, but she apparently told him she wants to be alone for a while. This is a married man who has told her he has separated from his wife for her. I don't believe that she even knows. Through a mutual friend, I've been given her phone number. Should I tell her? Will I be losing any chance of rekindling my relationship in the future by doing this? Please help. Your wife, your fiance was sexting another man, so she is cheating. That is cheating. She's sexting another man. She is cheating. You're not gonna get your fiance back. Let's start right there. One, do not even take the number from the guy she's texting with, his wife, and tell him that. Like, what benefit did you get out of that? I wouldn't do that. Heck, maybe the wife knows that's why they're getting separated. Maybe she found out already. So I wouldn't do that or be wasting your time. To be honest, you do not have any ability to rekindle this relationship. She's sexting behind your back. She is cheating on you. She doesn't trust you anymore. She doesn't care about you anymore. The person is a selfish thing. If she cared, she wouldn't be doing it. She would have broke up with you. So it's over. It's time for you to move on. Sorry, man. That one sucks. But yeah, it's time for you to move on. Don't even try to bring her back because she built her grave. She got what she sold. She built her grave and she got to lay in it. This is her bed. So yeah, no, you're losing all chance of rekindling your relationship. Don't even try to rekindle it. It's done. Next one, girl behind the bar. So I went to the local pub with my family down the road on Christmas, a pub I worked at a few years ago. And as I was leaving, I vaguely recognized the girl serving or managing at the bar. And I was like, "Are you blank?" She said yes. And I said, "We used to get on the bus back at school." She says, "What's your name?" I gave her my name and we shook hands as I left. A couple hours later, she requested my Instagram. She must have asked the manager that I was worked under that owns it my full name. And a day later, I accepted it because I was with family all Christmas. I thought she was really cute. Well, just checked and she just unfollowed me days later. What do? I was going to have a drink at the pub on New Year's Eve anyway, so maybe start a conversation with her then. I don't know. I want to help with this because I want to chat to her so I could still DM her, but I don't want to be creepy or desperate. Why did he just like English is his first language? Just wait till Christmas, man. Like I understand that Christmas. Wait till New Year's Eve. She unfollow you. You can follow her back, and you can slide in the DMs. Maybe she was just trying to see what your profile looked like and saw something on there that she didn't like and left. That's a possibility. But I wouldn't put any stock in that. I would say you had a conversation with her. Now she is working. So the DMs, if you're following her still, continue to follow her and slide in her DMs and see what she says. Or you could just make small conversation with her on New Year's Eve. But think about this. She is working, so she really don't want to get hit on. But I would say you went to New Year's Eve. speak to her, say hi to her, like acknowledge her. We're gonna be there anyway, but I wouldn't try to like, hit her or anything. And then I would just talk to her in DMs, like, hey, it was cool meeting you again. It's okay, I take you out next day. Go with that and see what she says. That would be my advice to you. So talk to her on New Year's Eve, but do not hit on her. She's working. Find her on Facebook or Instagram again, slide back into her DMs and say like, hey, you know what? I want to take you out and get to know you a little bit more. Next question. How do I, female 27, stop feeling guilty for wanting to break up with my boyfriend, male 27? So I'm going to try to make a very long story short for multiple reasons. I feel the urge to break up with my boyfriend that I just can't shake. The complicated part is we live with my parents because we bought land together and we're saving up money to build a house on it. He works about 35 minutes away from here and his closest family lives 1.5 hours away. Mother, sister, and grandfather. Of course, if we broke up, I would sign my half of the land over to him or sell it and split the money, whatever he prefers, since this is my fault. But he would either have to find a place to rent near here while awkwardly living with me and my family, or have a super long commute to a job that he has to be at 6 a.m. If he stayed with his family temporarily, so obviously I feel absolutely awful, but I can't help the way I feel. What should I do? Follow-up question would I be a total jerk if I asked him to stay with his family while looking for a new place? Break up with your boyfriend. You break up with him. Do not worry about what he has to deal with and how he has to get his situation in order. That's up to him to figure out once the relationship ends. So if you do not want to continue forward with this relationship and you're like, I'm out the relationship, I'm done with it, break up with your boyfriend. It's completely fine to do that. He has to handle his own situation, whether that's living with a friend, whether that's moving back home. Like, he will have to deal with that and he'll have to figure it out from there. But that's not on you to figure out how he has to navigate life. So it's okay to end it with your boyfriend and end the relationship. That's perfectly fine. I wouldn't worry about what he has to do. Because that's not, he's his own human being, so he'll figure it out himself. But yes, it's okay to leave the relationship. My girlfriend doesn't want to cuddle, kiss, or have sex. My girlfriend 20 and I, male 21, are dating for almost 3 months now. We get along pretty well and I love her company. But recently I started to question if this is all one-sided. In the beginning, like the first week of dating, we cuddled a lot, had sex frequently, but after that it turned to like once a week or so. When I tried to initiate it, she always said she's not in the mood right now, and I completely respect that. But she doesn't even want to kiss or hug me. When we, for example, lie in bed together and I try to lay my arm around her, she pushes me away. When I ask if I did anything wrong, she promised me that everything is fine. Then we've seen each other then WY, not sure what that means. We've seen each other 4 times in the last 7 days, kissed 2 to 3 times in that time, and had 0 sex. When we have sex, I put all the effort into it. It's almost like she doesn't because I want it. I like her a lot. I don't want to lose her. She says it's just how she is, but it makes me feel miserable. Can someone explain this to me? Why? Also, sorry for the text sounding like a teenager, and maybe that's more of a rant than a question. Nevertheless, thank you all in advance. 3 months. Your relationship's run its course. You probably guys started off too quick, ran too fast, and she thought she was into it. Now she feel like she's not into the relationship. You're like, I'm here for the relationship, but she doesn't want to, and now you're feeling some kind of way. You gotta ask yourself, if this is who she is, she said, this is who I am. I'm not big on, sex. I'm not big on touching. I'm not big on kissing. I really don't like all that. That's not my love language. I really don't like to be touched. Then you have to ask yourself, can you be with a partner who doesn't want the same things you want? Can you ask yourself that? If you can't answer that question with a yes and be like, oh, you know what, that's fine with me, I'm cool with that. If you're like, no, I have needs, I need to be touched. I want a partner who wants a hug. I want a partner who wants me to hold their hands, who wants to kiss more than 2 or 3 times a week. The fact that you're counting it at this point, you're only 3 months in, it means this relationship is pretty much done. And it's okay for you to like let it go and be like, you know what? I love you as a person. I love who you are, but we definitely need to go our separate ways. And I have needs that needs to be met. And you can tell her that. It's going to be harsh to say that, but you can say, I have needs that need to be met, and you know what? I just don't feel like I'm that match for you. And you can say that to her, or you don't even have to say it to her. You can be like, I know, honestly, you said this is how you are. You don't really like to be touchy. I'd like to be touched more. And I just feel like we're not a good match. And 3 months, enough time right there to learn with that, whether or not you want to be in a relationship with somebody or not. And the fact that you kind of jumped into 3 months and went right into a relationship, it means it's time this relationship ran its course, and it's okay that you guys end it. So I would say break up with your girlfriend, find somebody who has that physical touch love, like who wants to be touched, who wants to be held, who wants to kiss more than just 2 or 3 times out of the week, who actually wants to be, anytime you see each other, on top of each other. Go find that girl. You can find that. There's that person out there for you. So my advice to you would be, it's okay to end this relationship. I wouldn't want to and you also don't want to put your girlfriend in a situation where she feels like she's forced to do this, because that's not healthy either. So it's okay to end your relationship and move forward if you're not happy in it, which sounds like you're not. All right, next question. Following hot girls, is it an issue? I just realized my boyfriend followed over 1,000 hot chicks on Instagram, all with giant boobs and butts. Some are also just pretty normal profiles. I mean, not OnlyFans/adult actresses. It really bothers me. I don't know how I'm supposed to compare it to these girls, and I wonder how much time he spends looking at them. Is this something I should just accept men do, or would it be an issue for you? Eddie, he has told me before he doesn't click the like on them. He doesn't click like on any of the photos. Not sure if that changes anything. Well, my question is, when you speak to your boyfriend, you need to speak to him and say, hey, I noticed that you like a bunch of Instagram models, over 1,000 Instagram models. When y'all take into account, was he following these women before you started dating him? If that was the case, then they've been sitting there for years, and then you came into the picture. So you can't be like, oh, he's following too many Instagram models. But you ask him, like, what is his boundary is when it comes to Instagram models? What's his boundaries when it comes to social media? It's one of those social media conversations. If you feel insecure, because I can tell you right now, men will look at any kind of woman. It doesn't matter the shape, size, or what they look like. Men, you go back to my Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift episode. If we're coming to look and have fun, we don't care what the size and body shape look. Now, when it comes to being a serious relationship, we're looking at the personality. Whether or not lady provides us peace, give us a comfortability, let us be who we want to be. Like, those things we look at when it comes to a partner. But as far as just women in general, that it could be all over the spectrum as far as what kind of women we look at. So I wouldn't compare yourself to those ladies. What you need to ask yourself, how your boyfriend treats you. Does he treat you like a princess? Does he treat you like a person? Does he take care of you? Does he look out for you? Does he belittle you? Does all these horrible things that you don't like? Like, if he's not hurting you, putting you in a horrible situation, and these are the things, everything's perfect, but this one thing that he looks at Instagram models and he said he doesn't even like them. So that means nobody's going to notice he's following these Instagram models unless you go to his profile and click on it and then research. So while you're researching, my question to you be, is there a reason why you're going to your boyfriend's profile on Instagram and researching who he's following? Like, is there something there that you feel like is not secure enough? And you talk to your boyfriend about this. Have a conversation about the fact that you came across this. Say, hey, I was snooping on your Instagram, and I saw that you follow over 1,000 Instagram models. The fact that you notice he follows 1,000, like I saw you follow 1,000 Instagram models, and let him know how it makes you feel. Like, to me, don't accuse him of anything. Just like, to me, it makes you feel insecure. It makes you feel insecure. I'm gonna say subconscious, but like insecure or conscious of me, and maybe I'm not providing for you, and he would have the answer to you, be like, you know what? No, that doesn't mean anything. I just followed him because I like following women and saw this, and they've been sitting there for years. So I just followed through them. Like, have a conversation with him and let him know how you feel about it, and then ask him how he feels about social media. Ask him how he feels about Instagram models, and ask him and to let you know how you feel about social media and how you guys feel about Instagram models. And maybe I can come to a middle ground on this. Maybe he doesn't follow any more models and he just sticks to what he has. There's a middle ground you have to come to with this if you feel that insecure. But also keep in mind that those women, they're not attainable. Like, if you're following porn, like he's following adult actresses and stuff like that, they're not attainable. And he's not messaging them or he's not liking them. He just keep them on there for like back in the day when people used to have Playboy magazines and calendars. It's the same thing. Just the only thing different is it's on your phone and not in your hand that you got to go to the store and buy it. So ask your boyfriend what he feels about that, how he feels in that situation, and bring to his attention how you feel and let him know where you're coming from and let him have that conversation with him. Don't come from a place of attacking. Don't come from a place of accusing. Just come from a place of discussion, of a conversation about social media and about models. Next question. Do I ask her out or know her better? I'm male 23, want to ask an old friend out. We grew up in the same city and later moved away to different cities. 10 years ago, I met her at my wedding, at my sister's wedding, couldn't recognize her. We reconnected 4 months ago. Her congratulating me on an achievement which she strives for herself. We spoke back and forth about how she needs to work to get there. In between those conversations, I spoke my mind about generic stuff. We have too many things in common, from worldviews to professional goals. Now the thing is, I have noticed that I am the one speaking and reaching out. I wanted her to be interested as well. At the same time, I told my guys that I like this girl, but this is the story. They kept telling me to ask her out before she friend zones me. I usually don't date as I don't have any common ground with the ladies from where I'm at. Also, we are still both living in different countries as of now, making it more complicated. All right, well, if you live in different countries, unless the country's like, I don't know, Canada and USA, or France and Germany, where you got, I have no idea how location wise, so don't do not quote me on that. But I guess in, let's say, Europe, where you guys are close neighboring countries, other than that, I don't think it's worth asking her out. Now, you can ask her for a long distance relationship and see how that goes, test the waters. But if you're somebody who needs somebody there in that physical contact, then it's going to be a hard relationship to try to keep up. So at this point in time, unless you plan on moving to where she's at, or she's going to move to the city where you're at, I wouldn't try to ask her out, because long distance has to come to an end eventually. Like, eventually somebody will have to move. So I wouldn't ask her out, to be honest. That I wouldn't invest your time into it. So I understand you're starting to feel feelings for her, but maybe you should get out more, date other people. I understand you say you don't really connect more with people, but put yourself out there a little more. Don't rely on this one person, because one person might not be willing to talk. But you can shoot your shot. I'm not gonna say you don't try it, but to be honest though, I think you're risking your shot can be shot down a lot higher, because you live in two different countries and you guys are not together. So, and that's probably why she's not showing that she's interested too, because she's like, what's the likelihood of him reaching out to me? We're both in two different countries and we're not going to be together anytime soon. I don't plan on moving to where he's at. He might not be planning to move to where I'm at. So my thought, if you want to shoot your shot, just be more cognizant that it might not go the way you want to go. And, but at least if you do decide to make that shot, at least where she sits at. She's like, no, I'm not about it, not about that life. Then boom, right then and there, you can call it a day. But would y'all be in two different countries? I wouldn't say ask her at all. Like, all right, if she moves back to you come back around and you guys talk and have a conversation, yeah, cool. But if she's not in town, not in the same country, I wouldn't do it. I'll move on. So, guys even care is the next question. And then they went back and fixed it and said, do guys even care? Guys, I was dating 5 months. So a guy I was dating 5 months is angry because after a big fight that we had, I found out he was using Bumble afterwards. I felt like he was trying to replace me fast or be spiteful because the fight was pretty bad. Anyway, I tried to fix things once we had the fight, but once I saw him active on Bumble, I told him what I saw and I wish him well. I blocked his number. Am I wrong for this? We agreed on not seeing other people even though we hadn't put a title on us. What? I knew he still had dating apps. Silly me believed that he wasn't using them. Do you think he'll eventually come back and try to fix things? What? You don't have a title. You don't have a title. That says everything. Why would I want to be with somebody who's going to start a fight with me and argue with me if I don't have a title with them? The fact that he's on Bumble doesn't matter because the fact that they don't have a title, there is no relationship. Y'all just talking for 5 months. You're 5 months of talking. He's not moving forward with a relationship. You're not moving forward with a relationship. There's no question. There's no answers. No asking about where we are. Define the relationship. There's none of that. This man is out there swiping because he can swipe, because he's allowed to swipe, because there is no label attached to y'all. You can't call him out on it because there's no label. You can't say anything, well, you're on a dating app, you shouldn't be out there. He can be out there all he wants. He didn't define a relationship. You guys are not boyfriend, girlfriends. You guys are not exclusive. You ask the question, will he eventually come back and try to fix things? If you want to hook up, yes. If he wants to have sex, he'll come back around. But if you guys not even doing that, then he won't come back around. He'll continue swiping out there. The fact that you saw him on Bumble, which means you're on Bumble too. So don't try to play like the high ground here, because you're also on the dating apps. You guys did not define a relationship. You saw it. He knows what's going on. He's still looking. It's time for you to move on. This relationship has run its sails. You guys are fighting and arguing, and you guys are not even in a relationship yet. You're not even defining a relationship, yet you're already arguing. So what, you think that's going to change once the title gets put on it? No. You guys are going to be arguing down the road if the relationship goes even further. So, yeah, no. Do guys even care? Yes, guys care. But there's no label attached to this. There's no direction for us. At this point, we're still doing what we want. You're just somebody I'm dating to see if I really want to be in a relationship with you. And as of right now, the way I look at it, we're arguing before we even put the relationship on it. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's going to cause me anger, like cause me headache and heartache before I even get the chance to be a boyfriend. So, no, that one, I'm out. So you continue moving forward. Do not put your time and effort on this guy. Next question. How can I turn boring conversation into engaging with girls on text? Every time I try to flirt with a girl, I end up being a nice guy or get rejected. I'm a male 26 with no sexual life and have a good career. I go to the gym every day, but the main thing is my flirting skills are zero. I want to flirt with girls, but if a girl wants to talk, I convert gossip into boring talks. P.S. What should I do so I can flirt with girls? To learn how to flirt, you can read books. Like The Art of War Dating is a book I learned, and there's a book on how to flirt, it's called the Flirting Bible. It's a giant picture book with words. It's not a picture book per se, but there's a lot more pictures in it, and more like how to do certain things, how to say certain conversations, how to talk to a girl, how to face a girl to show that you're interested without being creepy or whatever the case would be. So for example, facing somebody when you talk to them, give them eye contact versus looking away or crossing your arms so that you're closed off. Keep your arms open and your hands open so that you're more willing to accept somebody coming into you and speaking to you. If you cross your arms, you show you're closed off and that you're not engaging with somebody, but you open your arms up or leaning in and show that they're engagement, which are signs that it can be used as oh, he's flirting or whatever the case may be without having to vocally say it. So body language is one thing you can learn. Don't look at conversations as boring, like gossip is a boring conversation. Don't look at gossip as a boring conversation. Look at it this is her expressing her world to you. So if you're not even interested in her in that say more than just a physical body, then you're not gonna be interested in that conversation. If you want to get to know her, you're going to sit and listen to what she talks about and be more engaging with her. My question, because you say you go to the gym and you say you have a good career, are you meeting women who have the same interests as you? That could be a whole thing there. If you're talking to women who have no interest in you and you're pulling for straws, then you're going to find yourself having a hard time flirting with women. But if you like a girl, let's say you match on a dating app and they have the same interest in you. The gym. Maybe you want to bring up a gym conversation or what her goals are physically what her gym goals are, whatever the case she's into. You can bring up those conversations and have a conversation from there and take that down the road. So find common interests, and then from there, the little back and forth will come, but you got to have something you guys are interested in. If you're just like, I'm not interested in anything, and she's not asking you things that you're interested in, and have a conversation where you both can light up, it's gonna be a hard time communicating. So my question is to you: find somebody, or not question, but my tip to you will be finding somebody who has similar interests as you. The gym is one interest you have. What's another interest? Find that person who matched that and have that conversation with them that way, and that way you don't feel like gossip is just boring talk. Next question. 24 male, I want to start casually dating, but I may be too busy. Can I still go for it? Hi, hello. I'm a 24-year-old college student. I have no prior relationship experience. Almost done with my school semester. I live in a full house with 6 other family members. We got 1 car and another that needs repairs. So I am kind of in a dilemma. I want to go out and start some casual dating, and I feel so impatient to do so. I can just DM this one girl on Insta right now, but I'm holding myself back because I got various stuff to deal with at home. I am totally willing to do both important tasks like school while I go out with a girl, but I need advice on whether that would be a good idea or not. I don't have relationship experience, so I wouldn't really know how home life impacts dating life. P.S. I'm not good at explaining things, so I'll elaborate if you need as much as I can. Wait, don't date right now. You're not in a spot to date. You're right now. You're busy with school. You're busy with living at home, and we only got 1 car that doesn't have repairs. You got to share a car. If you're going to date somebody, talk to somebody at your school, so way that at least you guys both know where you guys are standing at as far as life goes. Like, you both understand, you're both in college and both getting through school. But as far as like dating apps and meeting somebody in real life that's not college, don't do that. Wait until you get done. Wait till you get your stuff in order. Wait until you get your own place, or at least a place where you're not with you and your family. At least a place where you and your friends. Because you think about this, you want to bring a girl back to your place, she be like, well, I gotta meet your mom and dad. You're like, well, no, you can't go to my house. Maybe we can go to the car, like, park. Like, there's not really places you can do to bring her, because she doesn't want to meet family right off the bat. Especially if you're trying to be casual with somebody, meeting family is a no-no. So I would say with this, wait until you get your stuff together. Wait until you get done with college. Wait until you get your own car. Wait until you get your own apartment or place, and then start casually dating. But as of right now, there's too many other barriers that come with that, which like meeting family, because you gotta go back to your place, so you'll meet family right off the bat. You don't have a car, sometimes you're not gonna be able to drive around and get to her. Like, there gonna be so many other barriers that get into the way, which you don't need that stress on your mind. Focus on school, focus on getting a car, focus on getting your place, and then start dating. There'll be time. You're 24 years old, you have plenty of years to date casually, so just get through school first before you go out there and try to date. Next question. Just got dumped. I'm 28 female, have been dating this amazing blonde girl, female 27, who is a 10 out of 10 with her looks for the last 9 months. We were completely in love with each other. A month ago, I had to travel to a different country to visit my parents, and she was okay with me being away for a month. 2 weeks ago, she started being a bit distant and cold. I asked her if anything was wrong. She said she was fine and was busy with work. Yesterday, she texted me saying that she wasn't in love with me anymore. She said the distance gave her time to think, and she realized she doesn't really love me. Oh, that hurts. She wants us to go back to being friends when I back and see where it goes from there. Though I really love her, what should I do? The breakup was really bad as well. She said she could do much better than me. God. And I couldn't get someone like her again. Okay. Which is kind of true. I'm a 6 out of 10 and she's a 10. Okay, wait a minute now. I'm devastated that I'm losing this amazing girl. What should I do to get her back? Dude, she just told you that she was better than you. What was the line again? It was really bad. She said she can do much better than me. She said she can do much better than you. That's tough. That's really tough. that hurts. That cuts at the knees. I wouldn't try to get her back. And the reason why is because the way you guys ended. Yeah, that month apart gave her time to think, which means she was probably already thinking about like if she truly wanted to be in a relationship with you, and that went downhill as the time went further. And once that the moment you got to leave was the excuse for her to realize, I don't love this guy like I think I do. I don't want to be in a relationship like I think I do. And she's taking the choice right now to say, I want to end this relationship. That's what she's doing right now. She's saying she wants to end the relationship. And you just said she's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to looks, but you didn't mention anything else about her that you really appreciate her, that what she does for you. She said she can do much better than you. That sucks. So this relationship is over. I don't think you'll be able to win her back. And I would say she wants to be friends. To me, that's the worst idea, because what you got to witness her as a friend is her talk to other guys and her continue to date other people, and she had you on the back burner because she's like, maybe if these other guys don't work, he's gonna be there to pick me up and we'll pick up where our relationship fell off. So I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, you know what? I'm not gonna stop you from breaking up with me. Completely understand. It's your prerogative. I'm hurt. Not gonna lie. And I'm going to, figure it out myself, and just take this time to figure out what you want. Take what you like from the relationship, take what you didn't like from the relationship, and assess it and put it towards something you want to look for in your next partner. Yeah, I know this girl right here, you think it's the best thing to happen to you, but the fact that she broke up with you while you was overseas or in another country, yeah, that is versus wait for you to come back and say, you know what, I think this time, say to you in person of 9 months, yeah. So I think, and the fact that she told you that she can do better, let that drive you. Let that build you up and see, okay, well, I'm going to get better, but don't do it for her. But you can let that be like the fuel to your fire for wherever you look for next in life, next person you want to date. But that's a tough thing to say to somebody. And I wouldn't want to date somebody who always think they can do better than you. That's not a healthy relationship to be in. So don't try to win her back. I wouldn't want to be friends with her. Take this time in a relationship and move forward. It's going to be a hard few months. You're going to have to grieve and get through it and think, everything was perfect, and then all of a sudden the rug got pulled underneath your feet. So don't try to fight her back. Don't try to get her back. Just take this L, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Next question. Anxiety about a new relationship. I just started seeing this guy I met on FEELD. I'm not sure what that is. A few weeks ago before I went home for Christmas. His communication, he's great. Communicative and upfront, and it seems like we're looking for the same things. We already had sex twice, and I spent the night at his place. Nothing at all particular feels wrong or is wrong, but I feel terrified of getting closer to him, and I feel like the strong urge to push him away or text him incessantly until he realized that I'm terrible rather than take it slow and see what happens. Does anyone else experience the thing where they go from chill and relaxed to super attached but terrified of getting close to someone so quickly? He also doesn't like to text as much as I do, and I'm anticipating that being an issue, even though I know that my need to constantly be in contact doesn't come from a healthy place. I alluded to the fact that I've been feeling anxious about it, and I'm supposed to see him in a couple of days, but what do you think I should do? Take your time. Take your time and don't rush into it. I think what happens and why we get so anxious because we rush into relationships nowadays. We meet someone on a dating app. It already takes out will he like me? Will she like me? No, like the match already secures that. And then your first interactions on Meet is, the dating app itself. That's your first interaction. Then the first date, which is not really the first date, is more of like, okay, we're now seeing we work well in person. But yet you already worked well on the app. Now you hit it off in person, and now you're going fast. Like, oh my gosh, everything's so great. We're having this good time. We both are comfortable with each other. We like all these things. Like, your endorphins are up there. Everything is dopamine rush. Everything is rolling so fast, and that's going to last, a few weeks into that first meeting process. And then as you start processing, like, okay, well, I've been here before with other people, and I've been broken up with for other people, or people have ghosted me, or the case would be. Like, you're thinking ahead before what actually is happening. So what you need to do in this moment is take your time, slow it down, and ask yourself, is this person you want to date? Is this person you want to be with? Okay, he's not communicative, but what's your version of communication? You need, like he said, he don't like to text all the time, but what does that mean when he said he don't like to text all the time? Do you like to text when he's at work? Does he like to text when he's out and about with friends? Or when he's by himself, does he like to text? Like, you need to have that conversation with him and see, what this communication and text means. So a healthier relationship with this would be to have that conversation and talking to him. You're gonna feel anxious right now because right now you're going through that roller coaster, and it's like, okay, everything's going so great. Everything's going so great. When will the shoe drop? When will the ball drop? When will it be a horrible situation? And that's where that anxiety is coming from. You don't know when it is. Versus sitting there waiting for the worst case scenario. How about you just embrace the moment? Take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Enjoy his company. Do you like him? Do you like his company? Don't think like, oh, he's gonna cheat on me like the last guy who did, or like the previous person who worked with me, or he's gonna ghost me like the previous person I was speaking to. If he's an honest, upright guy, he's gonna tell you how he feels. He's gonna tell you whether or not he's into you or not. So take your time. Go slow. Like, take a step back if you need to. If that means taking a step back means like, okay, I want to text you, and I'm not going to put myself in a situation where thinking, okay, you know what? This first date was great. We already hooked up. The honeymoon is next. Don't get ahead of that. Ask yourself, what do you want within this year? Take your time within this year and reevaluate the relationship, 6 months later, a year from now. And then say, okay, am I okay with moving forward with this person the next step? So take your time, move at your pace. And if he wants to move faster and his pace doesn't work that way, like let's say he wants to move faster and you want to move slower, and he's like, well, I want to do this, and that doesn't work for him, he can leave. That's up to him. But he's like, all right, you know what? If I care about this girl, I want to see where this goes. I'm going to take my time as well, like she's going to take her time. So my advice to you is take your time, slow it down, don't rush it, and understand that, you know what? It's horrible to say, but it's something that we need to take into account. And I got this from Jared Freed, and he used to say it all the time. 9 out of 10 relationships end in breakups. The 10th one end in divorce 50% of the time. And with that being said, it's horrible to think of it that way, but I hope you keep in mind that relationships do come to an end. So if this relationship comes to an end, it is what it is. There's no way to prevent that. And even if you do guys get married, death will be the end of it. So the last one, the 10th one, will end in divorce or death. One or two. Marriage, divorce, or death. So you have to look at it that way. Best case scenario for relationships is death that ends it. But that's not always the case, especially in today's era. So take your time, enjoy your relationship, enjoy the time, and ask yourself, what do you want? And don't rush it. That would be my best advice for you. And just have fun with him. And then let him know your communication style. Let him know, like, maybe for you, a good morning text, a good night text, a good midday text works for you. And sometimes you need that, just feel a little more validation or a little more security. It's nothing against the other person. It just makes you feel better. And that's something you can tell your partner. If that partner can't step to the plate and say, I got you on that, say less, I'm going to do this. And over time, it's not going to become such a big ordeal. But the partner's like, no, for me, texting too much is a lot. Since I need a little time to step back and just, be on my phone. But you understand, like, hey, I can definitely send you a good morning text. I can definitely send you a good night text. I can definitely send you a good evening text. So that's something that you can keep in mind when you come to talk to him. But as far as anxiety goes, just understand that. Take your time. Don't get ahead of the horse. Just enjoy the moment and don't put so much pressure on this relationship. All right, last question. We'll call it a day. The guy I'm dating is best friends with his ex-girlfriend. Am I being immature? I'm 28 female, have been seeing this guy, 29 male, for a shy of a month, and things have been going really great between us so far, aside from the friendship he has with his ex-girlfriend. The first night we met, he had a few too many drinks and babbled about how he cheated on his last girlfriend, with her, but that they just best friends and it was a drunk mistake. Well, I understand it's human for us. It's human for people to make mistakes and learn from them, and that there is a world where ex can maintain a friendship. Their relationship still makes me uneasy. Yeah, you know what? I'm right there with you. The second time we hung out, he suggested we cook dinner instead of going out. While cooking, she texted him, "Please call me, it's urgent." So he excused himself in the living room and FaceTimed her. They had a 15-minute long conversation about light fixtures she needed him to hang in her apartment. Okay. She's been mentioned every time we've been together. He invited her over to spend Christmas Eve with him and his mom, and he spent New Year's Eve at her place. I know it's a bit early to have an issue, but I did express the way their relationship made me hesitant and might be a deal breaker for me. He was nice about it, but he definitely defended her in the relationship. What would you be okay with this? Am I being immature or overreacting? Dating for a shy of a month. So a month of dating. So you guys not boyfriend, girlfriends. He told you that he cheated on his last girlfriend with this girl. This is a huge red flag. This actually could be a deal breaker. Because the fact that he said he cheated on his last girlfriend with this girl. They both got drunk and they ended up hooking up. With your friend, you don't get drunk with your friends and just hook up with your friends. So to me, this would be a major red flag. Matter of fact, a deal breaker. He's already shown you things where like he put your guys' dinner or your date night on hold to have a 15-minute conversation about light fixtures with his friend. I wouldn't have done that. That's another thing that's showing you right then and there that your relationship with you might not be the important thing within a relationship. Now, Christmas and New Year's Eve, I get that, like, why he'll spend time, because that girl been in his life for, X amount of years. Let's say she's been there for at least 14, 15 years. That makes sense why he would hang out with her over Christmas and New Year's Eve, especially you only been dating for a month. You probably have your own New Year's Eve plans, but how can he invite you out to New Year's Eve with him and his family? That's what gets me. Or how can he invite you over to New Year's Eve? Like, if you're dating somebody New Year's Eve, that midnight kiss should be with you. So I would definitely be a red flag. And if you don't want to date him, I'll say end this relationship, because to me it's like he's more invested in his girl, his friend that's a girl, over somebody else. As a matter of fact, he said aside from a friendship he has with his ex-girlfriend, the first night we met, he mentioned he had drinks and blabbed how he cheated on his last girlfriend with her, but they were just friends and it was a drunk mistake. Oh, I even misread that. That's not even a childhood friend. From reading the conversation here and reading like the title, that's his ex-girlfriend. Yeah, no, they still have a thing together. I wouldn't say, hey, you should date your friend again, but I'll be more like, that doesn't work for me. I'm not about it. Like, you done things to show me that you want to spend more time with her. I'm saying we're not in a relationship yet, but you're spending more time with her. That's your ex-girlfriend. And you also cheated on your last girlfriend with your ex-girlfriend. I don't want to be in that same circle. I don't want to put myself in that situation. So it's okay for you to end this dating process with him before it progresses to anything more, because he's already showing you signs that he's not over his ex and that she's going to be a fixture in your relationship going forward. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate y'all. See you on the next episode and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email, alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.